Hello, good to be with you again. This is Business Live. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji Riafe. Coming up in tonight's edition, Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies, GASALC, praises government for the depositors bill passed into law, but says threshold for refund under the bill. Mining firm Goldfields contracts Gensa, an independent power producer, to construct a 50-megawatt gas power plant at Itakwa mine to reduce its dependence on the national grid for operations. And low numbers for job creation in the three northern regions of Ghana raise concerns about labor migration, especially into the Greater Accra region. You can always get interactive with us by tweeting. The handle is @JoyBusinessGH, and also going onto Facebook and liking our page, Joy Business. For more news or business news updates, of course, go to www.myjoyonline.com/business. We'll come back with the main details.
Business Live today is brought to you by GCB Bank.
Now, Parliament on Monday passed the Depositors Protection Bill 2015, a bill that could to a large extent protect depositors from losing their funds should the bank or financial institution holding their deposits collapse. This also paves way for the establishment of the Deposit Protection Fund, from which victims of collapsing banks would be compensated. But the Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies, GASALC, says the threshold for refund under the bill is inadequate. Eunice Brakumafu is the Executive Secretary of the Ghana Association of Savings and Loans Companies.
That's your listeners. This protection bill actually says as a protection, of course, because it's sort of an insurance for the sector. Eventually, all clients of savings and loans companies would be insured against any mishaps should anything happen to a particular company. But at the same time, it has some consequences because it groups every specialized deposit taking institution in one and the banks in a different angle.
Okay.
It means that the banks would have to pay different premiums compared to that of the savings and loans companies and, of course, the other microfinance companies that are out there.
Okay. So my question was, what exactly does it bring to the environment at a point in time, especially with the microfinance institutions? A lot did happen there, which actually led to losing of millions of Ghana cedis of depositors' money. I'm sure this is basically to sanitize the environment and also give confidence to the investing public to have confidence in the banking system. Is that not the case?
Yes, it's supposed to do that. It's supposed to actually bring sanity and to protect the clients, for them to know that if there's any loss or anything that happens, like the DKM issue or other companies that have gone down, anything like that happens, they're going to be protected. But there's a limit to which they will be protected. Per the bill, clients are supposed to be protected up to a point. And I know that it will be not more than 1,250 per client. So if you have a depositor in there who has saved more than that amount, they're going to lose that, the rest of it. And the banks, they're talking about, 6,000 something. So it has a good effect in terms that those that are small clients, deposit holding, are going to have their protection. But how about those that are big? Because, we're talking about companies that might have deposited in there. So it has a good effect and a bad effect.
Now, on his part, banking analyst Nana Utue Champon says all stakeholders must be happy with the respite because it serves as only a starting point to help protect the interests of depositors.
It means is that now when you put your money in any bank financial institution, you are protected up to the maximum that the law states. Now, those who are arguing that it's too small, we have to walk before you run. And so the title of the bill for small depositors. Presently, there isn't anything at all. And so whether you are small or big depositor, you don't get anything if the bank goes down. But with this one, you get some protection of a sort. So I think it started on the right footing, and as time goes on, we can increase. Mind you, it is also got a direct correlation with the premium you pay. So if somebody is asking for the limit to be raised to 50,000, are they prepared to pay the insurance premium? Because this is not a one-time premium sort of thing. Every year, the premium will be paid directly by the bank, and then they will claw back from depositors. The banks will make the payment, and then they will call it through either the rate of interest that they will pay on depositors from the customer. So eventually, ultimately, it's the customer who pays. They group bank financial institutions into two categories. There's one called Fund A and second called Fund B. Fund A is all the universal banks, of which we have 29 now. Then Fund B are the other four categories, i.e. savings and loan companies, rural banks, microfinance institutions, and now finance houses. That is Fund B. For Fund A, the maximum protection is 6,250.
Okay. For
Fund B, the protection is 1,250. Now, Fund B depositors are usually small to medium size, and then it's Fund A where the big ones are. So that's the rationale behind the bill.
Mining firm Gold Fields is taking steps to reduce its dependence on the national grid for its operations. To this end, the mining firm has contracted Gensa, an independent power producer, to construct a 50-megawatt gas power plant at its Tarkwa mines, which should be ready from next month. The mining firm is expected to use about 36 megawatts of power, while the remaining will be fed into the national grid for other consumers. David Johnson is the corporate affairs manager at Gold Fields, Ghana.
Well, apart from looking at our own controls and business improvement initiatives when it comes to power, I think the big thing is our Gensa plant, which which should come on stream probably within the next month or two. And Gensa is an independent power producer that will be producing the power, and we would be buying from Gensa. That at least gives us a very stable power supply, because our machines are not designed to go on and off. Sometimes it takes quite a bit of time even to get them back on once they go off, and these are all production hours that we're losing if we keep going on and off. So having a stable power supply is something that would really help our business.
Not going into fine details, but what megawatts this company producing? What kind of power? Is it the thermal? Is it gas? Is it the solar? Is it the, what do you call it, the coal power? Or what kind of arrangement is it in terms of supplying you this power?
It's a gas powered plant. Initially the idea was clean coal, but I think that at this point it would be fueled with gas. My understanding, and this might not be accurate, but my understanding is that the plant in Tarkwa, for example, would be producing about 50 megawatts of power. We probably would be using about 36 or so, and so the company would sell the remainder, put it back on the national grid.
And how do you expect this whole arrangement to impact on your operations?
Well, it gives us stability for sure. And, once you negotiate a tariff, you know that at least this is a tariff that you're going to work with, for a long time. So it gives you a certain level of stability. And I think that investors in general, and particularly for the mining sector, we like that kind of predictability. We know that power is going to be, this amount, and it's going to cost us this much. It's going to be stable over this period of time. That's something that gives us comfort when we are making investment decisions.
Meanwhile, Gold Fields Ghana has been outlining some measures taken to ensure that the company overcomes some challenges confronting the mining industry. For some time now, global mining prices have been very volatile, throwing many firms into a state of uncertainty. But David Johnson, Corporate Affairs Manager at Gold Fields Ghana, says the company has put in place strategies to be sustainable.
We streamlined our operations. We made sure we got rid of the heap leach operation, for example, because it really wasn't bringing us that much value. We looked at our structure as an organization and trimmed down as much as possible. So now we see ourselves as a mid-tier organization. As a company, we regularly review our operations as we go along. If there are opportunities to expand, it's something that would absolutely take advantage of. I do not conceive that we would reduce the numbers any further. I don't think that's something that is on the horizon at this moment. There are a lot of major decisions that will have to be made within the next few months, and so it would be a little premature to make a call on Daman at this point. But for TAQA, I think that the team that we have is the team that we're gonna carry forward, and we'll keep doing what we've been doing to stay afloat and be profitable. And we are only hoping that the gold price would. We commissioned a study towards the last quarter of 2015, and across all our communities, the common theme was employment. So we are very clear.
Now, away from mining, transport app Uber says it expects to create about 1,000 jobs in Ghana's transport sector for the unemployed youth. The app serves as a platform that links passengers to drivers, making it possible for users to arrange car transports for any location using their smartphones. The newly introduced service has brought a new lease of life into the taxi business. Leon Motia, who heads Uber expansion efforts in Ghana, says drivers get to make gross income of about 1,000 Ghana cedis per week.
We had a good number of drivers who made 1,000 cedis, over 1,000 cedis. Our top driver was actually closer to 2,000 cedis in gross earnings, right? So obviously from that amount, you have to take out fuel, you have to take out wear and tear on the car, and amortize your insurance and so on and so forth. But what we're seeing is that Ghanaians are very excited to find an alternate way of rounding out the end of the month, so sort of padding their income at the end of the month. So we're hopeful, as in other markets, I can sort of speak to what the forecasts have been in other markets. We're hoping to have created at least 3,000 opportunities by the end of the year, calendar year, in Lagos, for example. And given the growth, the unprecedented growth that we're seeing here in Accra, we're hopeful that at least 1,000 people will have meaningful income as a result of our platform before the end of the year.
Now, the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority is threatening to suspend operations at the domestic airline terminal if their lands encroached upon are not released to them. Workers of the authority have already begun the partial withdrawal of services as part of a roadmap to press home their demands. Spokesperson for the workers, William Amoakon, tells Joy News the decision has been necessitated by the authority's desire to protect the country from possible plane crashes. William Amoakon says workers of the GAA will continually withdraw their services until their demands are met.
Most of the action is is internal. We want to put some little pressure on our management. We know they are doing well. They've written a couple of letters, but we want to still push them to do what they have to do. That is one. Then if by Friday nothing has been done, we still don't have access to the land, we're going to ground local flights. It means there wouldn't be any flight within, no movement within Ghana. Accra, Kumasi, Accra, Tamale, Accra, Takoradi. There wouldn't be any movement. We're going to ground those movements.
And how long do you intend on carrying out such an action?
As long as possible, until we get access to the land. We don't want to wait until the equipment becomes totally down. Like the Director General said, GCA is always proactive. We've bought an equipment lying down over 600,000 euros, and we can't install it. Why did we buy the equipment? So we need to install it, and we taking this action for those who can let us have access to the land. To do what they have to do.
It's our understanding that the land is not residential. It's actually designated for the airport, for civil authority. So why hasn't it not been released to you?
Yeah, exactly. So, the land has been the executive instrument that was, that gave the land to civil aviation. It's clear. We heard people are saying we don't have title to the land. Well, that is true, but the government took the land for civil aviation. We have the executive instrument. I have a paper in my hand that states clearly the purpose. They took the land for Department of...
Now, analysis by a statistical service has shown that 3 regions of the north, as well as the Volta region, are weakest in terms of job creation. This, according to the service, only calls for more efforts to enhance the job creation capacities of these regions to help prevent labor migration, especially into the Greater Accra region. Daryl Kwao has a breakdown of the figures in the Statistical Services Job Creation Report.
The Greater Accra region recorded the highest number of both skilled and unskilled jobs created, while the northern regions as well as the Volta region performed poorly. The highest number of jobs recorded in the agricultural sector were created in the Ashanti region, followed by Volta and Greater Accra regions. The industrial sector recorded a total of 3,240 new unskilled jobs, while the Upper West and Northern regions witnessed the highest number of job losses in the sector. The least number of skilled jobs created in the industrial sector were created in the Upper West region, while the Greater Accra region added 422 new unskilled jobs in the industrial sector. The report says the level of informal jobs in the services sector is very high, accounting for about 4/5 of the total number of jobs created. Agriculture, on the other hand, created more formal jobs than informal jobs. The Greater Accra region recorded the highest number of new jobs in the informal sector, both in industry and services.
So that's it for the local front. We'll now cross over international boundary to bring you some updates in international business. Welcome back. Now, some players within the insurance industry are reiterating the need to sensitize the public on insurance benefits. Speaking to Joy Business at the launch of WAPIC Insurance's new motor insurance product, Move, CEO of WAPIC, Adedayo Arowolo-Julu, advised insurers to keep to always their service promises in order to attract more clients. That's it for that will be for our interview of the day.
Well, the NIC has been putting in a lot of effort in sensitizing the public about insurance awareness. I think that's the major milestone. Once we have confidence in the insuring public, there's hope for the insurance sector. Apart from that, the affordability of insurance products, if insurance companies are able to keep their service promise, that will help deepen the volume or the level of penetration in the market. And because the market is largely untapped, there's opportunities for insurance companies, and we need to reawaken that interest in the insurance public in order to at least be able to meet the expectation and bring people to buy our products.
interview of the day.
It's been exciting having you on board this evening's edition of Business Live, and this is where we draw the curtains on this evening's edition. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji-Biafi. Thank you very much for your company. Keep watching, and remember, tomorrow evening we'll bring you the holiday edition of Business Live. Meantime, you can get interactive with us or by tweeting. The handle is @JoyBusinessGH. You go to Facebook, and our page is Joy Business. For more business news updates, you can also log on to www.myjoyonline.com/business. Keep watching.